Good day. The virtual climate summit proposed by US President Biden duly took place on 22nd April 2021, and significantly, both President Xi of China and President Putin of Russia attended. This was despite the fact that the Russians, when the invitation to them to attend the summit was first made, showed little enthusiasm for the summit idea and appeared to suggest that Putin, on balance, might decide not to go. In fact, the Russians and the Chinese kept the Americans waiting until literally the last moment. Xi only confirmed that he would be attending the day before the summit was due to take place, and Putin only confirmed that he would be attending the day before Xi gave the same confirmation. Now, why did they attend? I think there's two basic reasons for this. Firstly, the Chinese were clearly making the running on this issue. And the Chinese have recently been going out of their way to present themselves as the great champions in the cause of preventing climate change. This may come as a surprise to many people, but this has been, in fact, a theme of Chinese diplomacy for some time, and it's become a major topic in China's recent outreach, especially to the European countries. Xi Jinping actually had a virtual summit meeting last week with Germany's Angela Merkel and France's Emmanuel Macron, specifically on the question of climate and climate change. The Chinese media has, in fact, all but admitted that part of the reason why the Chinese are making such a big issue of climate change at the moment is because they're looking to use the topic of climate change as a way of advancing China's cause with Western, especially European, public opinion. With an election due to take place in Germany, in which the Green Party is likely to do very well, and with China taking a particular interest in forging close relations with Germany, it is perhaps unsurprising that the Chinese should be making their pitch on this particular ground, which they know will appeal strongly to the Germans. But there was, I think, another reason beyond the desire by the Chinese to try to play a big role in climate diplomacy. The other, and that explains partly or mainly the reason for President Putin's attendance, was a desire on the part of China and Russia to showcase to the world at a virtual summit of this nature, which 40 leaders, including the President of the United States, are attending, the extent and depth of their cooperation. And that this is the case was actually confirmed in a most interesting article which appeared in the semi-official Chinese newspaper, Global Times. And in it, in this article, one finds the following words. The Chinese top leaders' attendance was confirmed just one day before the summit, and also one day after Russian President Vladimir Putin confirmed he will speak at the summit, showing that the two global powers are willing to take part in global affairs to address climate issues, despite US tensions with China and Russia. Both the Chinese and Russian leaders are expected to state their firm support for upholding multilateralism on the global climate issues, firmly rejecting any form of hegemony or coercion to force other countries to accept Washington's own climate change agenda out of the US's own interests. Just as Xi called for a new world order by saying that global affairs cannot be decided by just a few countries and that the world wants justice, not hegemony, at the ongoing WOW Forum in South China's Hainan province, this message would become even clearer at the upcoming US-led climate summit. In other words, the point the Chinese are making, and the reason why they wanted the Russians at the summit, and the reason why the Russians agreed to go, is that China and Russia are global powers, like the United States. They have their own agenda and their own ideas about how to deal with problems like climate change. They are not accepting leadership on the climate issue or on any other issue from the United States, and they support each other in venues like this one. In other words, it is the Russians and the Chinese working together, not always or necessarily in opposition to the United States, but in partnership to resist any demands made against them by the United States. The Chinese attended the summit, in other words, partly to reach out to the Europeans, partly to show that they are leaders on a climate issue, but also to demonstrate to the Americans that they are prepared to provide leadership themselves and are not going to follow in America's wake, and to showcase the fact that they have their Russian ally there beside them. It's quite a sophisticated pitch, and I wonder how many people around the world will have understood it. I doubt that the United States will have done, except perhaps a few officials who are not blinded by ideology or beliefs in American exceptionalism. Perhaps some European leaders might have noticed it also. But of course, other leaders from other countries will have seen it and will have realized it, and will have realized that the Chinese are now, in effect, challenging the United States, even in venues which have been convened by the US president with the Russians at their side. In effect, this is a sign again of the way China is behaving with increasing self-confidence, and with Russia beside it in their strategic partnership together, they are making it clear increasingly that the days of unipolarity, of the United States acting as the world's leader or hegemon, are once and for all over. As to what Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin actually said at the summit, well, the answer is nothing very much of any very great importance. Both of them committed themselves to further climate targets. Both of them spoke about their achievements or their country's achievements in reducing carbon emissions. Both of them spoke of the enormous importance of the climate topic. Putin's speech, by the way, was exceptionally short, and frankly, I always get the impression that this is not a topic that greatly interests him. His attendance at this summit meeting attracted very little attention in the Russian media. He was there basically to support Xi Jinping, which is exactly what he did, and he did that merely by the fact of his presence. Xi Jinping was the person of these two partners who did the actual running, and though his speech was longer and in some ways more interesting than Putin's. It was hardly a speech that one will remember or consider much either now or in the future. A low-key summit of little significance in itself, except for the fact that, again, China is challenging the United States even on topics which you could almost say are on America's own ground, with the Russians at their side beside them. Thank you very much for joining me for this program. Please also join me in future programs, both on this channel and in future in our main channel, the Duran, where I do programs with my colleague and friend Alex Christoforou. Please also check out Alex's own channel. You will find links under this video. Please check us out also on our other platforms, BitChute, Library, Rumble, and especially Odyssey. Please also support us to the extent that you feel that you can on our via Patreon, Subscribestar, and PayPal. And don't forget to look us up on our Discord server, and also go to our shop and see the wonderful things that we have there: our magic mugs, our hats, our hoodies, our sweatshirts, and our t-shirts. And thank you very much for joining me on this program, and I look forward to you joining me in future programs, both on this channel and on our other channels. And have a wonderful day until then.